Hey everyone, and welcome to a new kind of mini-series I'm going to be starting on the channel, which is a series where we're going to be building some coasters. So the first bit here is we're going to be building a B&M invert, a classic style, old, whippy, intense kind of invert. And this is mainly just a way so I can give you guys a bit of an insight on how I actually build my full coasters rather than just elements. So this is kind of going to be a little bit of kind of a tutorial, but also not. It's kind of just a series of building a coaster. So in this episode, we're just going to be focusing on the layout, and you'll see how I, go through the process of building a layout. So next episode will be the supports and then the scenery and whatnot. So anyway, let's kick it off with the time lapse now. So in the first part of the video, in the time lapse, you're seeing me building the actual layout of the ride. This includes, lift hill, the starboard, all, and whatever. And basically, when I build that kind of thing, I tend to use the very smaller pieces for the pull up into the lift hill and then the pre-drop. But that way, we can keep the realistic B&M style, because the mod does allow those short pieces now, and not only can we use them for building smoother rolls and things, but you can also use them for much more realistic, like lift hill sections and whatever. So as well, you can see I'm building the layout out of 4-meter pieces, and that way I can get the kind of shaping that I want down before I end up going back and converting it all to 2-meter and then smoothing it all out. And that way I'm just able to get a much better shape, because personally I don't like building out of 2-meter pieces. I think they're too small. But I know other people do, and I know that you can get great results from that. But personally, I like to build out the 4-meter pieces and then convert them into the 2. So basically, this time lapse is just me finishing the layout. So I'll let you guys watch it and kick it back when we finished it. So as you've just seen from that time-lapse footage there, the first process of building the ride is actually designing the layout, and I usually design the entire layout using 4-meter sections, like which you can see here. I did some manual heartlining on the 0G roll. The Immelman uses, I guess this is more of a sideway. No, this is more of an Immelman. All of it's designed using 4-meter, apart from the brake sections, which have 1, 2, 3-meter pieces for the realistic placement of the brake pads and all that. So the next thing I would do is usually just turn the entire layout into 2-meter before I even think about properly smoothing, because you saw in the time lapse there, I didn't just design the layout out of 4-meter and leave it at that. I was constantly smoothing out sections during the ride, just so that I could get the shaping right. I wasn't really too bothered about the banking, it's quite jolty, jittery, it's not smooth. But that's not the thing you need to worry about. The thing you need to worry about is getting the shaping right first, because you're not going to be able to smooth the track section if your shaping is off, because it's a very, very difficult thing. I can't tell you how many times I've designed an element, it's gone wrong from the get-go, and I've tried to smooth that, and you just cannot get a smooth transition. So spend time, designing your elements, even if they're jolty and the banking's off, just get it right using 4-meter sections and you'll be absolutely fine. So yeah, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to turn the whole layout into 2 meters. So I'm just going to go back to another time lapse now, because this is usually a very long and drawn out process. However, there is, before I want to start, there is a tiny trick that I have discovered that, albeit is a bit glitchy and can result in the coaster builder dying, but when you're converting an entire layout into 2-meter, you may notice, sorry, I've got autosave at the moment, you may notice that when you delete a track section, you're going to wait 5 or 6 seconds before you can actually place it again, which is awful, and means that converting rides into 2-meter or even 1-meter takes ages. So, if I delete, I've got to wait a little bit before I can then halve it and then, place. And then overall, it's just not great performance. So you can imagine how long that's going to take to have to convert the entire layout into that. So a very quick trick I've discovered is that if, say, we're going to convert just the drop into 2-meter sections, what we're going to do is we're going to isolate the drop from the rest of the layout. So I'm going to delete this section here, and then I'm going to delete this section here. Oops, sorry. So basically, we're going to be working on just this section here, the one that I've highlighted. And what you'll notice is, because that's isolated from the rest of the layout, you get much faster performance when placing parts of the track. That, however, that can maybe, it doesn't always happen, but if it does, you just need to restart the game, and hopefully that normally fixes it. What it can result in is, if you then go into the coaster builder, sometimes you're not able to actually place pieces or connect them. For whatever reason, the game just doesn't allow it. So if that happens, just restart the game and you should be fine, but usually it's fine. I've only ever had that happen with one ride, which was an F25 or the B&M sit down, but I haven't had it happen with anything else. Like Nemesis, when I was redoing that in 1 meter, I didn't have any issues doing that, and I did that method. And, well, this is the same type of coaster, this B&M invert, so it should be okay. So, yeah, basically what we're going to do is we're just going to turn it all into 2-meter pieces, and, yeah, let's get that time-lapse going now. So the next part of the build is the smoothing process of the track, which I usually find isn't that bad of a process when it's 2 meters, because I have a few little tricks that I can do that mean that I won't spend too long on certain elements like turns and worrying about banking wobble. But it's usually kind of a time-consuming process, so I'm just going to quickly check and make sure that all of the... I need to find the areas that have particularly bad radius smoothness, and then go back and smooth them. How's the drop? Okay, the drop and the loop needs a bit of smoothing. Okay, I can't really judge that. That's a bit shaky in it. Yeah, okay, so the M1 needs more. The turn's pretty good radius-wise. Who's ready for disgusting corkscrew? Oh my, wow. Yeah, turn's fine. Ouch. I think this turn's fine as well. Yeah, this turn's fine. Okay, so basically it's the loop and the Immelman that really need the smoothing treatment. So I'm just gonna take the entire first half of the ride to this point here, which is kind of a flat section, and I'm just gonna smooth it because I need this goddamn thing smooth, because it's going to be a time-consuming thing to try and get this nice. Actually, what I might do is just spam that a bit. Spam this, and then I'm going to go back and readjust all the banking and stuff. That 0G roll looks pretty nice. I'm quite happy with this, because I had to manually hardline it. And it's more of a drawn-out one, because the train takes it at more speed, so I've kind of learnt my lesson with 0G rolls, not to make them always super whippy, because... well, if they're too whippy, then the ride just isn't going to be smooth and enjoyable. Now I can kind of do that. And hope that we can get this nice and smooth. I haven't killed the train up now. I'll use that one. So we need to ignore the banking here. We're going to use this mainly to find out the radius and see if it's smooth. So... how does that look? Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, there you go. I think we've sorted that. I shouldn't really judge it by that camera though, because that camera has weird effects when you go through a loop. So actually, quickly, come on, zoom, bro. There we go. Oh, you would autosave now, wouldn't you? Hopefully it's faster because I'm not on it. Fortunately it was as well. How is this then? I'm looking for no like bouncing on the of the trains that isn't banking. Oh, that's perfect. That's literally, there you go. All right, that's perfection at its finest. Now I'm just gonna go for the emmelment. This needs quite a bit of smoothing in itself. So actually, I'm just gonna go from there and smooth to the midpoint, which is there. These kind of elements, which are, you know, circular loop kind of things, they're always the roughest parts of the ride because they haven't got. I don't know how to explain it. It kind of like if you're not smoothing them properly, then they cause bouncing on the radius, and then it's all really strange and weird, and it's not great. There'll be a lot of banking readjustment here, which is probably going to be one of the more time-consuming things. I also went for a kind of angled immelment. I know that most immelments on inverts are actually angled, but I wasn't sure about like a smaller one because this ride is only about 100 feet tall. So I was like, I wasn't really sure if I was going to go for a straight one, so I decided to go for a curved one, and I think it's gone pretty well, if you count the banking that is, but yeah, I think I'm excited to put a curved one on it, because hopefully that means we can get more whip to it. Alright, let's see what it's like. Yeah, it looks smooth. I think we can deal with that. Just going to quickly go back to up there so we can get rid of that jolt that's here. There's a slight jolt there that I just want to get rid of. Now that we've done that, let's smooth to there. Where can I smooth to here? Oh, I guess I could go to that midpoint here. Now down to that, and then up to here. Pull that down to there, and that should be that whole section done. Which means now I can just take this and smooth right to the end. Just spam it. For the sake of prosperity, I think I should be able to just... I'm just going to take the whole thing and give it a quick smooth just to get final bits of consistency down. Oh, bloody hell, that takes a while. I think that should mean that our entire ride is now radius smooth. However, our banking is completely dead, so that's going to now be the next most time-consuming part of the build. Actually, some sections aren't that bad. Like this little like turn here, it's not actually that bad. So let me just give that a quick UV to make sure that all of the radius is smooth and whatnot. I can't imagine the lats on that. Why aren't they bad? Wow, that's not what I expected at all. A little bit there. Nice 0G roll into the little bit there. Emmelment. -1 lat. We're going up that little turn there, little transition, down into the corkscrew, into the turn, into the other corkscrew, down under the brake run, and then into the final turn, and into the brakes. That looked really smooth radius-wise, so all we need to do now is just spend a bit of time just the banking, which is going to be a time-consuming thing. So I'm going to put this into a time lapse because I know how long this will take me, so yeah, I'll see you after the time lapse, so enjoy whatever music I decide to put over this. banking realignment finished. We now have a pretty good looking invert. I've checked most of the lats, they're pretty good. This is 0G rolls. Actually doesn't pull minus 4Gs this time. I'm genuinely really happy with how areas like here, which, you know, on Batman the Ride, it has the kind of little twisty section, and then it twists back out again. I've got that kind of thing going on, but I've made sure to try and get a B&M whip to it, like B&M, you know, I've really tried to replicate the style here. We've got 2 corkscrews, looking pretty whippy. This final section here, again, very whippy transition into the brakes. So, I think we're going to begin with the smoothing. Now, I want to try one thing just before I start properly smoothing it. Is selecting the entire thing. I do this for when I'm building out of 1 meter, but I'm going to do it for 2 just to make sure everything's aligned. So I'm going to go once and then twice. See, that did move that wall quite a lot, but I don't think it ruined anything too much. Everything looks about the same, but just a little bit more consistent. And I would get all. What I've just done is by selecting the entire layout and then hitting smooth all, I've tried to basically make the banking more consistent through elements. So now I can, oh, that also didn't last that long. So now I can, when I go back and smooth it, it should be much easier to get the results that we really, really want. So I think we're just going to make sure everything is back to where it should be. Make sure I don't want to get rid of the whip on the corkscrews or the 0G roll too much. No, it's absolutely fine. I've kept the banking there. I haven't ruined it up here, have I? Ooh, I may have done. Okay, this one section here is going to be the slight outlier. I'm basically judging everything when I'm testing now. I know that minus lats are right-hand lats and positive lats are left-hand lats. So I'm trying to, you know, design everything so that when, you know, you see those minus, it's like, oh, okay, I haven't banked it enough to the left or anything like that. So if you didn't know that, there you go. Minus lateral G-force is right-hand forces and then left-hand is positive. So that's a random little tip. Have we kept the nice bit here? We have. Oh, that looks great. That's gonna get a really nice whip to it when we finish the smoothing. So now I think we're just gonna try and use some good old-fashioned smoothing techniques. Now I'm gonna probably go 1 pass with 6, but I need to remember that this is 2 meter, not 1 meter. I'm so used to building out of 1 meter now that 2 meter is a little bit different. So I'm just gonna do probably 1 pass forward using 6 pieces. And there you go. That way we can just kind of get a consistent shape and roll to all of the elements. And hopefully it won't ruin the banking too much. So while I'm doing that, I do just want to say a massive thank you to everyone that's been giving this channel support. We did hit 200 subscribers, so thank you so much for that. That's amazing. Like, I'm genuinely blown away with that. So, and recently it's just been insane the amount of support that you guys have been giving me. So thank you very much, and I'm really glad you're enjoying the videos. I'm glad you're enjoying the the Planet Coaster stuff, because it's no secret that it is my favorite game. It has its flaws. It's got an awful optimization. The Coaster Builder is not fun. Actually, no, it is, but it takes a while. But honestly, it is a brilliant game, and I'm super glad that you guys are enjoying the content that I'm putting out for it. And you just know that I have loads more planned for this game, including stupidly ambitious projects with pieces of track that are smaller than a tree. Actually, I think every piece of track is smaller than a tree. But I just have a lot of ideas for this game and where I can take it. The Element tutorial series, I'm not sure if I'll keep that as a kind of weekly thing. I may hold off on that and start trying to put out some other content, because I have realized that that is the bulk of what I've been putting out recently. So I do want to try and diversify the Planet Coaster stuff rather than just Element tutorials. Hence why I'm starting this new kind of series on the invert, because I kind of want a little side project aside from everything else, because I've got Port Ventura to work on at some point. I'm not sure when I've got the park for that. I have another coaster in the works. Nemesis I've at least finished now. there's more I want to do, but basically this invert is just going to be a little side project that, you know, we can build kind of as a community. We can build as a channel, would be a better way of putting it. So I'd really like for you guys to put some input into this. So like, I don't know, let's think of like color scheme, name, theme. I say theme, but I'm probably just going to make this a generic Cedar Fair style invert with concrete and trees and paved places, you know, not really in-depth theming, I think. I'm not really a theming person, if I'm honest, but yeah, if you guys have any suggestions for this invert, like stuff like that, that would be really, really helpful. So, and then, you know, when this is finished, I'll then proper make a big cinematic video for it, and, well, provided I won't get, like, done by Frontier for putting this on the Steam Workshop, I may end up putting it on the Steam Workshop, or I'll just put the download to the park on, like my Google Drive or something, and then I'll leave a link to it, so you guys just need to go and put that in your saved game files. That way I can share it with you guys and, you know, not risk myself getting terminated by Gabe. But anyway, yeah, so we're just going through, smoothing it now. I really am fond of what I've done here with the kind of twisty section through the Immelman. It's going to look really nice. I do need to just watch out for the support, so that should create a really nice near miss with the support that's going to go there. So, you know, interaction between the supports and the actual riders should be quite good. Coming down now towards the bottom helix area. This Immelman here, I'm genuinely just trying to make this a whippy invert. Because it's no secret that when I'm building inverts, I don't tend to use banking offset. I just cannot shape with it. But I really, really tried today to build the layout out of entirely offset pieces, aside from the 0G roll, because I will refuse to build offset 0G rolls. They do not work. Unless it's a sit-down. Sit-downs they actually work. But I just can't get the shape right on inverted, you know, offset track pieces. It just doesn't work for me. So I'm just gonna come through this section here, and because these are 2 meter as well, I'm gonna be able to go 3-piece and use the banking trick on like the 0G roll and stuff, because it is a smaller coaster. Bigger rides like Giga Coasters and Hyper Coasters, I wouldn't normally do the banking trick on because those elements, like the banking is so drawn out and stuff. But you can see there, because these are smaller pieces, there's going to be enough of a jolt for them to actually become smoother again by, you know, using the trick. So, I mean, I could turn this into 1 meter, but again, that's a very time-consuming thing. The smoothing isn't that bad, it's just it takes so long to convert them all into 1 meter. So I'd really rather not, if I'm honest. Because this is kind of like, I want this to be near enough a weekly series of building this coaster, but I'll try. No promises, because I'm very bad at scheduling or anything. I don't even have an upload schedule. I just try and upload 2 videos a week. So you may notice that, like, I uploaded the Nemesis video on Monday, or was it Sunday? I think it was Sunday. I uploaded it on Sunday, and then the day before I had a video out from the previous week, and now I'm putting this video out hopefully on Saturday, and then, you know, it's the same week as Nemesis, but they're like 6 days apart. But that's the consistency I really try and want to have. If it gets to the point where I just can't do it because of, like, you know, college work or anything like that, then it'll just have to go to 1 a week, or maybe 1 every 2 weeks, or, you know, stuff like that. Because I don't like not having an upload, you know, schedule. It's not really schedulable, but more like you know, consistent uploads is what I mean. I don't like not having that because, you know, back when I just didn't like making videos. I didn't post for like 4 years, and then I would, and then it would be like 7 months between the next one. But now in the last couple of months, I've tried to consistently put out videos, and I'm really glad that you guys are enjoying them. So I'm gonna try and streamline and find out whatever kind of, you know, consistency I need to find and stuff like that. But I was also thinking about this as well. I may start doing some kind of live streams on either YouTube or Twitch, building coasters. So if you would want to see that, just put it in the comments whether or not you know, want to, I don't know, go on a live stream, build some coasters, maybe mess around and build some 404-foot wild mouses. Mice? I don't know. but I need to really sort that out. It shouldn't be too difficult because I can just use shadow play, which is what I normally use to record, but I know you can use that for streaming, I just have never done it before. And knowing me, the technical difficulties would be more than Galactica on a Tuesday. But hey ho, I'll be up for doing that. So just if you want to see that, or you want to go on his live stream, just let me know in the comments. All right, we're coming up to the end section of the ride. I don't want to get too much of the whip off here, which it looks like it kind of has. So I may readjust that. What's it like actually? Never mind actually. I think that whip's probably fine. So I'm just gonna go and we'll have a quick POV when I've done 6 pieces, just to make sure that everything is consistent and smooth, and then I'll go and touch up all the areas with 3 pieces and get all the banking nice and smooth. And then we'll call it a day, because that's basically all I'm going to work on for today. It's just the track layout of the ride. This video is probably like, I don't know, half an hour long. But I will try and make the time-lapse sections short, like maybe 2 minutes, 1 or 2 minutes. So, you know, it'll be like 1500 speed. You probably won't see very much, but because I'm, recording this in stages, I need to do the voiceover for stuff like that. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna put voice in that section. I may literally just put music on it, and well, I'll try and find something that's gonna work. I do just hope you enjoy this video, because it is. I'm genuinely really enjoying building this ride. Okay, you are gonna be annoying, so I'm just gonna sort you. Ooh. Okay, there we go. If I do that, then I can just kind of get away with that. And then, no doubt, that's going to smooth awkwardly. Let me just quickly get that. So it's, yeah, I'll just smooth out 3. So let's give it a quick test with 6 pieces smooth and kind of see what the banking and stuff's like. Are we getting autosave? We are. It is my favourite thing. And we're back, thankfully. So let's see what it's like. Hopefully it's pretty good. I would normally turn the start of the transitions into 1 meters, but honestly, I kind of want 1 meter. I kind of want to keep it consistent this time. Okay, that's looking good so far. Very nice on the 0G. Little twisty bit there into the old Immelman. Oh yeah, that banking's worked really nicely on there. Intense whip on the corkscrew, which is very nice. A little bit of a whip there. Into the second corkscrew, very nice. Into the helix. And then up and into the final brakes. That is looking brilliant so far. I'm very happy with that. So I think all we're going to do is go back from there and literally smooth it using 3. So certain sections, that's not going to need that much smoothing. I genuinely think that's really quite smooth already. That is a bit of a wobbly area, so hopefully using 3 we should be able to iron out that. Honestly, it's looking really nice so far. I'm not 1,000,000% sure about what biome I'm going to end up putting this ride in. The Alpine's nice, but it kind of limits what you can do with the terrain painting and stuff. I know you can do a custom one, but because of the mountains, it kind of limits what you can do. Generic isn't really working here because unless it was kind of like a Poland park. Energylandia moment, but not really. I mean, actually, Energylandia's in a field. What am I on about? It doesn't really matter. But like, I don't know, Swiss park? I was going to say Swissport. Doesn't really work, so I may put this in just a deciduous one. And then put some very generic kind of stylized concrete paths and trees and planters down. Make a really generic station. I may actually do like an open station. You know how like on Top Gun and Flight Deck. Yeah, I think Flight Deck might be the only one we have it, but like an open invert station. Something like that could work very nice. Or I might just put a very generic roof on it. I'm kind of just thinking about it now. Are these considered interlocking corkscrews? I didn't really design them like intending to do that, but I guess they're kind of interlocking corkscrews. They're kind of at an angle, but honestly, they're pretty good. Yeah, I guess we can go with that. And if I just take this back to here. Smoothing with 3... it sounds weird, but smoothing with 3 pieces is genuinely, I find, faster than smoothing with 6. And I wonder if it's just because I mess up using 6 more. Could be, but I'm not 1,000,000% sure. Looking at it from here, it kind of looks like a Batman the Ride style thing, where it has the corkscrew into the turn, except this turn's going miles into the air instead of pigeon. Why is he just... Bloody hell, he just hit the rails! You're right there. And then... I just get destroyed by a pigeon. Yeah, it's like kind of like a Batman the Ride moment, and then flies up towards there. Kind of want to see what it's like so far. I really like the whip on that section there. Into the corkscrew, very nice. Up through there. Pretty good lats as well. We're looking at like 0.2, 0.4 there, 0.1, 0.2, about 0.7 coming off there, but that's a whippy transition, so it is to be expected, to be fair. Very happy with that so far. I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do my banking trick. Actually, I could do the banking trick quite easily on that section, because it's going to be... I'm not 100% sure if this corkscrew is too whippy or not. I think the entrance might need a bit of work, but again, it's 2 meters, so it should be fine. Whatever random snappy bits we have will get ironed out because of how big the pieces are. And again, they're also really small pieces, so you know they won't get ruined by any random bits I decide to mess with. Wow, that is very whippy. That's like a really good whip. That is also going to be the rough part of it. That looks weird. Is that me or does that look weird? Is it just more... I think it's maybe just because of the banking that it looks a bit weird. That is really intense coming off there. Wow. Okay, for this section I'm going to have to try and make a compromise and find out what's the smoothest part and what we want really smooth. It may end up just going forwards, I think. Again, because it's 2 meter there, I'm not going to be able to just kind of leave it. Actually, I might be able to leave it. 1 meter, you wouldn't have to worry because the transitions would be exactly the same because of how small the pieces are. So I missed a piece there, didn't I? But this is 2 meters, so we're going to have to be a little bit more careful about ruining the shaping. That itself does look pretty damn good. I'm very happy with how this is coming along. This area here, I think, is really nicely B&M shaped. Need to make sure I don't accidentally ruin that and get rid of the whip to it. Actually, whether or not I've ruined it or not, it still has a very nice unbanked shape to it. This section here, pretty intense as well. That Immelman is very nice. Let's have actually just kind of see what it's like smooth now. Yeah, still very nice off there and through there and whatnot. So it's fine. It's not really something I need to worry about necessarily. Ooh, I've made an absolute profit of 0. That's wonderful. I mean, what do you expect? It's a field with a half-finished invert in it. Ah yes, let's go and get the kids and bring them to a field where there's a magical floating invert being smoothed. I'd pay for that, actually. What do you mean? Plot twist, that's actually just how B&M builds their rides. They bung them in fields and then have a magical cursor man come in and spend 14 years smoothing them. B&M inverts are actually 55 years old, they just spend a lot of time being smooth. What am I on about? How's this coming along? It should be fine. Looks, yeah, it's fine with me. I just don't want it to, ruin the banking on it. That looks really nice, actually. Angled Immelmans. Right, okay. They are definitely something I'm doing more of. That is beautiful, 0G rule. Going through there, and then... Oh, that's really nice. That's everything I wanted it to be in more. Whippy there, and then down again. Into the corkscrew. I do that a lot. I just kind of stop and watch the ride. I think it really helps me gauge how smooth I should make my transitions. If the ride looks smooth before I've actually finished it, then I think I'm doing something. Well, then I'm like, oh, okay, I think I've done what I want to do. And now we're coming up to the 0G. I think the 0G might be one of my favourite parts of this ride. It's turned out beautifully well because I didn't want to do a tiny one and make it super whippy. I think the entrance to it might be a bit shallower than the exit. I was really bothered. It's fine. So it's actually more of a drawn out 0G roll than some of the other ones, but again, I'm absolutely fine with that. That is not what I wanted to do at all. So I think I'm going to only do a few passes on this because the 6 pieces got it all nice and aligned, and then the 3 pieces will basically just get it all nice and smooth. So if I smooth it back to there, this exit to the 0G roll is finished and we're not going to touch it again. Because I don't want to ruin the banking on it because it isn't 1 meter, so it's going to be a lot more sensitive to that kind of thing. That is very nice. Wow. Off he go, where he go, how he get that smooth though. Oh my god, it's beautiful. I don't cry, but I would. I'm aware that the actual talking portion of this video is 20 minutes long already, so I'm absolutely going to have to minimize the time lapses, otherwise I'm going to put this at like 40 minutes. Actually, I think I made a Cobra roll video that was 40 minutes long. Bloody hell, how do I make these videos so long? Oh, we coming up to the 0G roll? Yeah, I'm just literally, I've pretty much smoothed nearly well, I've smoothed the first half of the ride now. We've done the drop. You won't see that, I've just cut it out because I need to minimize the actual length of this video. I just smoothed this section out, did the kind of banking trick there, and now we're coming up to the 0G roll, which, you know, I can't cut the 0G roll out. We love the 0G roll, especially when it might be the first one you've built that isn't going to kill you with the minus G-force you pull on it. So, coming up to it, I missed a bit. Coming up to it. And now we simply just hit that bit, align him back up, slight bump in it. That's quite a lot of bump. There we go, minimize that. And the 0G roll is done. Oh, it looks good. It looks really nicely heartlined as well. Super nice and whippy, so it's kind of got a bit of a force check there. 0.2, like 0.13 on the actual zip. Wow, 0.13 either side, that was good. Coming up to it there. Oh, it's beautiful. Legitimately beautiful. Which bit needs it there? Is it the exit or the entrance to the emblem? It's definitely the initial part of the emblem that needs that smoothing. So if I find the about halfway point, which is... Wait, is there a bit I can just grab from here? I think all of my banking kind of moves a bit, so I'm going to have to try and find a point there. Just... How bad are you going to be? Not that bad. What about you? They're exactly the same. Okay, we'll go with that then. Now we just simply bring him up to that and do that. I think after the Sidewinder, I'm just going to put this into time lapse, and then you can see the rest of it, and then we can go and review it at the end to see what it's like. And that is pretty much done now, so I think give that a test, and it's already going without me. I'm excited for this. Entirely 2 meters invert. I know the sound will probably die on me, because that is unfortunately how this works, so let's give this thing a test, see what it's like. Very nice on that. There. Oh, beautiful 0G roll there. Let's put on the Sidewinder. This is an Immelman, not a Sidewinder. Oh, good whip on that. Very nice whip on the second corkscrew. Into the final section. And then into the brakes. That is very nice. I'm very happy with how that's turned out. I think we ought to give that a guest-facing back row spin around cam. See what it's like. Let's give this thing a go. What's it like? From the looks of it, Only a few bits of jolts, but, you know, that's 2 meter for you. Can't really do anything about that. Unless I wanted to convert the whole thing into 1 meter. That is a beautiful first drop. Very nice loop. A very nice 0G roll. Inelman's very smooth there. Little twisty section there. Good, oh, good whip on that. Nice little section here. Into the second corkscrew, very smooth. And then into the final brakes. That is absolutely, oh wow, I'm really happy with that. So that is the layout for the invert done. Well, that was the first part of the Let's Build B&M invert kind of series I'm starting. So, you know, I hope you enjoyed this kind of really strange video for my channel. I don't normally do kind of time-lapse, you know, voiceover kind of videos like this. I normally just do the tutorials and cinematic videos, but I hope you enjoyed. I look forward to continue this. I really hope that you guys are going to give some suggestions for names and color schemes and kind of, you know, terrain. Anything you'd want to see on this ride, leave it in the comments, and I'll get round to in the next part where I think we'll do the supports and the, you know, the catwalks and all that and the details, and we'll get some of the terrain laid out and the footers and whatnot. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. Thank you again for all the support you've given recently. It's amazing, and I will see you all